Hi, welcome back to my channel. In this video I am discussing about video model question paper 2 problem solving through C programming questions and its expected answers and the distribution of marks for each of the questions. So here the distribution of the marks are given as per our knowledge, and it may change according to the university scheme of evaluation, but definitely the distribution of the marks information given in this video would help the students for preparation of this subject. I request the viewers who have not yet subscribed to this channel, please click on bell button and do subscribe to get early notification of my upcoming videos on C programming concepts. So now let's start the discussion. See here, let us first read the note. So any 5 full questions, choosing at least one question from each module. So we have to answer any 5 full questions, choosing at least one question from each module. So 2 questions will be given from each module. We have to select only one question and we have to answer. So the second note is use C code snippet to illustrate a specific code design or a purpose. So wherever the example is mentioned, so there you can use the code snippet instead of writing the entire program. So now let's start. The first question is define computer and broadly classify the computers based on their speed, storage and price. So you have to give a definition of computer, for that 2 marks, and explanation of each of the following computer types, that is microcomputer or personal computer, mini computer, mainframe computer, supercomputer and workstations. For each of these computer types explanation, for that 1 marks is given, so 2 marks is given. Sorry, 1 marks is given. So now let us see second question. Classify the following into application or a system software and justify. So here 4 software are they are given. So some softwares are application softwares and some softwares are system softwares. We have to classify which is a application software and which is a system software, and along with that we have to provide a justification. So for classifying each of them into application or a system software, for each software it will carry 1 marks, and giving a justification will carry 1 marks. So the next question is list any 3 input and 3 output devices of the computer and explain any one each. So listing out any 3 input and output devices, 3 marks, and explanation of any 1 input device and 1 output device will carry 2 marks. So this is the expected answer. So question 2, so list the basic data types available in C, explain with example. So here listing out the basic data types such as int, float, double and character, for that 2 marks. Description of each of these data types with example will carry 1.5 for each data types, so total 6 marks. So the next question is what is typecasting and mention its use with a suitable example. So here for the definition of typecasting 1 marks and example 2 marks, and listing out the uses of typecasting, for that 2 marks. So this is the expected answer for typecasting. Next question is write a C program to swap 2 integers without using temporary variable. So here you have to write a C program which includes the following C statements to perform particular operations to generate an expected result. So the declaration of necessary variables 1 marks, and reading input from the keyboard 1 marks, and implementing an appropriate logic to swap two numbers without using temporary variable, for that 4 marks, and displaying the result 1 marks. So this is a expected program. Next question is explain the syntax and working of switch case. Switch statement, mention in which situation it is desirable. So for the definition of switch statement 1 marks, and syntax of switch statement 2 marks, and explanation 2 marks. So in explanation you have to mention in which situation a switch statement will be used. So this is a syntax of switch statement, and here we have mentioned two desirable situations where the switch statement will be used. And next question is write the output of the following C code. So here you have to analyze each line of the code, and you have to predict what will be the output after executing this code. So after tracing this code, so the expected answer is what here? 3 and 1. Next question is compare the working of for, while and do while along with their syntax. So you have to write the definition of for loop, the definition of while loop, and definition of do while looping statement, and you have to write a syntax along with the definition. So for loop, definition and syntax 3 marks, while loop, definition and syntax 3 marks, and for do while loop, definition and syntax will carry 4 marks. The next question is write a C program to compute the roots of the quadratic equation by accepting the coefficients and print the appropriate message along with the values. So here you have to write a quadratic equation program. So you have to develop a program for finding the roots of the quadratic equation. So here the program has to accept the coefficients of a quadratic equation, and it has to display the roots of the quadratic equation. So this is a distribution of the marks, and this is a program for finding a roots of the quadratic equation. The next question is explain the working of goto statement in C program. So explanation with a example. You have to take an example of goto statement and you have to explain so how it is going to work. So this is the expected answer. The next question is give the syntax and working of simple if else statement. So you have to first write the what is the syntax of if else statement, for that 2 marks, and this is a syntax of if else statement, and explanation for that 4 marks. The next question is how one-dimensional integer array is represented in memory. With the help of suitable example, demonstrate the initializing the array elements. So the initialization of an array with example showing how it is represented in a memory, for that 3 marks, right, and representing how it is stored in a memory, for that 3 marks. So this is a expected answer for this particular question. The next question is write a C program to transpose M into N matrix. So you have to write a C program which includes following C statements to perform a particular operation, that is transpose of a matrix. So you have to read the necessary variables, for that 1 marks, reading a matrix 2 marks, implementing appropriate logic to transpose a matrix, for that 2 marks, and displaying the result 1 marks. So this is a program which transpose a given matrix. The next question is, with the help of suitable example, explain the working of binary search technique. So here you have to consider an example, you have to take an example, and you have to explain each steps of the binary search. So this is the expected answer. So you have to take a array, list of elements, and a key for searching, and you have to explain each steps which are performed in a binary search. So this is the expected answer for this question. Next question is, write a C program to implement selection sort technique and trace the steps for input. So you have to consider this input and you have to trace the program. So for writing a program, 5 marks. So this is a program for selection sort technique. And for tracing, so you have to trace by considering the given input, and you have to mention how the elements of the list are sorted by using a selection sort technique, and how many comparisons will be done and how many swaps will be done at each iteration. The next question is, using suitable code, discuss the working of following string functions. So here they have given 5 string functions, and we have to explain with a suitable code each of these string functions. So this is the expected answer for this question. The next question is, discuss the implementation of user-defined function with a suitable example. So demonstrating the implementation of user-defined function, 6 marks, and giving an example, 2 marks. So here you have to mention the components of the user-defined function. So how user-defined function will be implemented. The components of the user-defined functions are, that is function declaration, function prototype, function call, and function definition. And you have to explain each of these elements of the user-defined function. So this is the expected answer for this question. The next question is, what is recursion? Discuss its working with the help of suitable example. So for the definition of recursion, 1 marks, and working of a recursive function with an example will carry 4 marks. So here an example is given how it is going to work. This is the expected answer for this question. The next question is, write a C function that can be called to find the largest element of an integer array of size n. So you have to write a program to find largest element present in a array list. So this is the expected answer for this question. The next question is, discuss the various ways of passing a parameters to the function. So listing out the parameter passing techniques, 1 marks, and explanation of following 2 parameter passing techniques. So there are 2 parameter passing techniques are present. They are call by value and call by reference or call by address. So explanation of these 2 parameter passing techniques with example will carry 3 marks and 4 marks. Yeah, this is the expected answer for this question. The next question is write a C program to find a factorial of a given number using recursive function. So you have to develop a recursive function to find a factorial of a given number. So here, for declaration of necessary variables, for finding a factorial of number, 1 marks, function call to pass a parameter, 1 marks, and implementation of recursive function definition to find a factorial of a given number, 4 marks, and finally displaying of the result will carry 1 marks. So this is the expected answer for this question. The next question is list any 5 built-in functions and explain any 2 of them. So for listing out the built-in functions, any 5 built-in functions, 1 marks, and explanation of any 2 built-in functions, for that 2 marks for each. So these are different built-in functions which are present in a C program, and explanation is given here. Any 2 I have selected. You can also take any 2 from this list and explain the user-defined built-in functions. The next question is write a C program to swap 2 integers using pointers. So you have to write a program which consists of a pointer concept to swap 2 numbers. So this is an expected answer. So for writing a program, so every program should have the declaration of necessary variables, and if it is mentioned in a question function, then you have to call a function, and you have to write a function definition to perform the particular operation. So the marks will be distributed for declaring the variables, for developing a necessary logic for performing the particular operation, and for writing a data on the screen. So likewise the marks will be distributed for the program. The next question is give a general syntax to initialize structure to store a book information. See here you have to define the structure for storing the information of a book. So this is the expected answer here. So we have declared a structure with a tag name is what here, book, and we have mentioned structure members as a ISBN number of a book, name of the book, and price of the book, and we are initializing here, and we are reading a data from the input. The next question is how union is different from the structure. Give an example. So any 4 difference between structure and union, mentioning any 4 difference between structure and union will carry 4 marks, and example for each of these concepts will carry 2 marks. So this is the expected answer for this question. The next question is discuss the use of hash include and hash defined in a C programming. So hash include is nothing but file inclusion directive. So that you have to explain. The purpose of using a hash include, you have to mention with an example, for that 4 marks, and the purpose of hash define in a program with example, for that 4 marks. So this is the expected answer for this question. Next question is give a syntax for declaring and initializing union with a suitable example. So for declaration of an union 1 marks, and for initialization 1 marks, and example for declaration and initialization of an union 3 marks. So the first 1 marks is for syntax for union declaration, and syntax for union initialization, and giving an example for declaration as well as initialization will carry 3 marks. So this is the expected answer for this question. The next question is, when we need self-referential structure, discuss its implementation. So you have to mention the different situations for using self-referential structure. For that 3 marks, and discussing its implementation with an example will carry 4 marks. So this is the expected answer for this question. Thank you for watching this video.